This is the W Wallke H9AWD Foldable electric bike, and it looks and feels like a compact small motorcycle-style folder. The frame is thick aluminum, the stance is tall, and those 20 by 4-inch fat tires fill out the profile. With full suspension front and rear and a high cruiser-style handlebar, it has that built-to-take-a-beating vibe before I even touch the throttle. From my experience, that first twist is where the personality shows up. This thing is all about torque, range, and comfort, with some real-world trade-offs you should know. Key features that matter most to me start with the dual hub motors. You can run rear-wheel drive to save power, front-wheel drive to pull you through loose stuff like sand or mud, or switch on full all-wheel drive so both motors work together. AWD means both wheels are powered, so you get extra traction on climbs or sketchy surfaces. With both motors, the claimed peak is 3,200 watts and the torque hits hard once you're moving. On flat pavement, I've seen an honest 31 to 34 miles per hour. It's not a jumpy launch off a dead stop. The first few feet feel gentle, but once it hooks up, mid-range pull is strong and steady, and hills stop being a big deal. I pointed at upgrades that would make many e-bikes slow to a crawl, and the H9AWD just kept climbing. The battery is where this bike separates itself. It's a 48-volt 40 amp-hour pack, and a quick explainer for newcomers. Volts relate to how hard the system can push, while amp-hours are the size of the fuel tank. More usually means more miles. The brand's claim is 80 to 130 miles on pedal assist, depending on conditions. From my experience, range anxiety disappears. On a mixed 60-mile ride with a blend of throttle and pedal assist, I rolled back with about half the battery still showing. On a shorter but harder 22-mile push using higher pedal assist, the on-screen bars barely moved. I've also done close to 30 miles on throttle only in rolling terrain and still had plenty left. Of course, your numbers will vary with rider weight, terrain, wind, temperature, and how much you use AWD. I plan charging as an overnight thing because this pack is huge and the charger fan is louder than most. It reminds me of a small vacuum, so I keep it in the garage. Comfort is another big win. The hydraulic front fork and the rear shock soak up broken pavement and trail chatter. Fat tires add a layer of cushion and grip, and the oversized saddle is way better than average for long rides. Braking matches the speed and weight with 4-piston hydraulic calipers and big 203mm rotors. If you're new to that term, 4-piston means more braking power and better modulation at the lever, and 203mm refers to the rotor diameter, which helps with heat and stopping force. I trust these brakes at 30+ miles per hour, and that's non-negotiable on a heavy, fast e-bike like this. The cockpit has a full-color display that I can read in bright sun. It shows speed, battery, trip info, and drive modes clearly. I like that it has a USB port to keep a phone charged. There's app control if you want to dig into ride data or adjust settings, and the throttle is a full twist unit now, which feels natural if you're used to motorcycles or scooters. Tires are updated with a tougher puncture-resistant casing, which is a small thing that makes a big difference when you ride off pavement. In my opinion, these small upgrades, throttle feel, tires, brake cutoff safety, show they're listening to real riders. Now for the flip side. This bike is heavy. I'm talking well over 100 pounds, and with the battery in, it's a handful. It folds, yes, but in my daily use, folding is a storage trick, not a carry trick. I can fold it to park in a corner, but lifting it into a car without removing the battery and using some leverage is rough. I ended up using a small ramp for truck loading, and I wouldn't even consider stairs. If you live in a walk-up or need to carry your bike often, this isn't for you. Ergonomics lean toward taller riders. The handlebar has that chopper-like rise and not a ton of downward adjustment. I like the relaxed, upright posture for cruising, but shorter riders could find it a bit high and stretched. The 7-speed drivetrain is simple and reliable, and shim-style twist shifting is easy to learn. At higher speeds, you'll mostly rely on the motors rather than pedaling hard, which is normal for fast hub motor bikes. Power delivery has quirks. Off the line, the start is softer than I expected, then it surges nicely in the mid-range. On pedal assist, levels 4 and 5 feel too aggressive for me in tight spaces, even at the lowest sensitivity. I stay in levels 1 to 3 for control and flip to AWD only when I need extra traction or climbing torque. That balance gives me both range and confidence. On reliability, my unit has been solid. Still, I've seen real reports of out-of-the-box issues like error codes or small parts needing adjustment. That's not unique to this brand in this price and power class, but it's important. I set my expectations accordingly, do a full pre-ride check, tighten every bolt, look over connectors, and be ready to handle minor fixes myself. I wish the customer support line was easier to reach consistently. If your idea of maintenance is set and forget, this might not be your best match. If you're comfortable with basic tools, you'll be fine. The good news is the bike arrives mostly assembled, and the included toolkit is enough for first tweaks. The included horn, reflectors, mudguards, cargo rack, plus the bag, rack basket, and mirrors are nice touches that save you from extra accessory shopping. It's perfect for riders who want big power and big range for exploring paved roads, gravel, and light trails without thinking about charging all the time. If you have a garage or ground floor storage, if you ride where there are hills or loose surfaces, and if you like a plush, upright cruiser feel, this checks those boxes. From my experience, the AWD modes genuinely help in soft terrain and on steep grades, and the suspension and seat make long rides easy on the body. I'd recommend this for larger riders as well, since the frame and rack feels stout and the posted load rating is high. It's also a strong pick for suburban or rural rides, weekend backroad scouting, or a daily cruise where you value comfort and speed. If you need something light, nimble to carry upstairs, or compatible with public transit, look elsewhere. The folding hinge won't change the reality of its mass. In my opinion, the W Wallke H9AWD is a serious machine that delivers on speed, traction, comfort, and endurance, while asking you to accept size and weight, a learning curve with power settings, and the possibility of hands-on ownership. The bright display, app control, USB charging, beefy brakes, and upgraded tires round out a dialed package. The full twist throttle and toggle make it easy to switch from chill cruising to let's climb that with a flick. Just respect local speed rules, wear a good helmet, and give yourself extra room to stop at higher speeds. In conclusion, this is a thrilling long-range folder that rides like a small moto, not a featherweight commuter. If the way you ride matches what it does best, long days, mixed terrain, big torque, it's hard not to smile every time you roll on the throttle. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the W Wallke H9AWD Foldable Electric Bike. Thank you for watching.